Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Addie, and today we are back with another speed build. Today is definitely like an odd day for me to be posting a speed build. I don't usually do that. Is usually a Thursday sort of situation, but we are building the house for the Reaper's Reward Sims. So if you watched the video last week, you saw this build already, but I did want to post the process because some people do like that. And this ends up being a 2 sim starter home. So it comes in at about I think it comes in at about 20,000. So we are working with a budget of 2,500 simoleons because we did buy the lot. So um, that's what we were kind of working with. And then I'm going around and placing some trees. I did want the trees to hopefully kind of look like they're fading into the trees in the background. I feel like The Sims 4 lacks, like, the worlds are really pretty and like usually pretty cool, but I feel like the Sims 4 worlds feel more like a backdrop rather than like a world. Partially because of the closed neighborhoods and partially just because the lots are always so flat. So it doesn't feel like the environment comes onto your lot. Like in The Sims 3, your lot, like you could, in the base game world, you could literally live on a cliff. Like on a cliffside, you could live there. I mean, it wasn't like a cliffside into the water, but it was like a steep drop off, and the house was like on the steep drop off. And I always thought that was so cool, because like you can build into the environment. Whereas The Sims 4, regardless of the world, it always feels sort of like a suburban neighborhood. And that's not necessarily like a thing that they could change at this point. Like it's just how The Sims 4 works. But it is a little bit boring sometimes. So you really have to put a lot of effort into building like on the lot and make sure that, because a lot of the lots come with like some trees or what have you, but if you like bulldoze the lot, even if it's like if you just move on to an empty lot, there is some like foliage, there's some trees, maybe some bushes, but there's not like the world. Like even in Forgotten Hollow, there's like mountains around it. And like Mount Komorebi, there's mountains around it. And so it just, I don't know, it feels a little bit, I apologize if you can hear my dogs. My dog and my cat, they are playing. I don't know, it just feels sort of, yeah, it just feels sort of flat. And yeah, I am so sorry that you can hear them. They are being very loud. Oh, yeah. But I just feel like The Sims 4 worlds have the unfortunate circumstance of being forced to be flat, right? Like you can build mountains on your lot, but it would look out of place because like even if there's mountains close by, the likelihood that there's mountains like right next to your lot is really low. Usually those are like backdrop sort of things. So it's just kind of annoying because the lots feel kind of bland. Um, like the lots themselves can be really cool and the world can be really cool. They just don't always mesh really well. I think part of it is that you really don't own the last like tile of your lot because in real life you could totally build a fence on the very edge, and like in The Sims 3 you could do that, but in The Sims 4 you can't. which I think is really silly because like you own that, right? It might be the edge, but you own it. And I don't know how you could do that in like 2009 when The Sims 3 came out and not in The Sims 4 in 2014. So, I don't know. I don't know. I think that I am a little disappointed that we're not going to be getting like a Sims 5. I get the point, because like a lot of people have spent a lot of time and a lot of energy in like building up their saves and updating that and buying packs and all of that, which makes sense that you would not want people to feel like they have to start over. But this people still play The Sims 1 and The Sims 2 and The Sims 3. It's just that there's no more packs, right? And so I guess the only reason for me that I would want to like start over with a Sims 5 is because I would want a different system. I feel like The Sims 4 is very rigid, both in CAS and in like build mode. I feel like The Sims 4 operates too much on a grid system, and they would really have to do some like major updates to the base game in order to like into build mode in order for me to want to like not wanna not want a Sims 5. You know what I mean? Because like I want to be able to place fences on the edge. I want to be able to place like I love all of the updates that they're doing to cast to update, like the system of the binary like sexes and stuff, but like I don't feel like, and this is sort of like this is coming from a non-binary person, so like not I don't feel like it's necessary to have to assign a sex to your sim, right? Like you could totally, I think that um assigning a sex should definitely be an option, but I don't think that it should be mandatory, you know? And like, I don't think that man and woman should be assigned to a sex, because like in my other Let's Play, my Legacy Challenge, um, one of my Sims is non-binary, and her or their wife is only attracted to women. And so that made it a little bit difficult because I don't think that my wife or my Sim's wife, I don't have a wife, but my Sim's wife would care what the anatomy of my Sim is. I feel like she would probably be like, "Oh, you're non-binary? Okay, that's fine." Like I feel like her being attracted to women is like women and non-binary people regardless of your anatomy, like I don't think that she would have like an issue with like trans women, for example. um and so I feel like and so in order to make their relationship work, I had to change the assigned sex of my sim, and that was unnecessary, in my opinion. I shouldn't have had to do that. But because of how The Sims works, in order for my sim, who's non-binary, to date the woman that they want to date, that woman, like that, my sim either has to be a woman in the game's perspective, or I have to change my wife's sexuality to include men. And I feel like neither of those things should be an issue. I feel like that shouldn't necessarily be, like I said, I don't think that should be an issue. So yeah. I don't like that because I feel like you shouldn't as a sim, if you're, I mean, and obviously there's like women who only date women, and that's totally fine and totally valid. But there's also women who date women and non-binary people and still identify as lesbian. And that is my issue. I feel like my Sims wife would be lesbian who only dates women and non-binary people. Anyway, I don't know how we got back that far into the Sims, but um we are working on the build now, and you might have noticed that I am adding in money to the budget every time I place something, and the reason for that is because in my head these two rooms came furnished, right? So they didn't pay for the furnishing. In my head, this is sort of like a not quite condemned, but it's probably getting there house. So we have that. Um, and then there's like a couple of other things, but I chose to have us pay for the furnishings of the bathrooms and the kitchen, because in my head, like, when you buy the house, you pay for that. So, like, that's part of the house that you, like, that's part of the, what you pay for in the house. So we have that. And it's very simple. We are kind of running out of money. We have 3,300 simoleons left. So, we are running a little bit low on money, but I'm going through and adding like a few cracks and things along the wall. Um, because honestly, I feel like this house probably has seen better days. And in my head, my Sims have like come in. They're like not necessarily fresh out of college, but they're like fresh into life. They are both young adults, I'm pretty sure. And so they've bought this kind of rundown house in the vampire world, and they're like, we're gonna fix it up. We're gonna do this. And then I don't know necessarily what's gonna happen, but something's gonna happen, and they're gonna have to work to do the Reaper's rewards. I'm not really sure what exactly is going to happen, but something's going to happen. They're going to have to be inspired. I guess they don't have to be inspired. Maybe just living in a haunted house by itself is enough to be like, you know what? Grim, please leave us alone. Um, but yeah, so we are finishing up some landscaping and the outside, and I don't know why I added money for the upper cabinets, but that's fine. Um, and then we've got the dining table and stuff that we have previously placed. And then I'm just getting some little trash cans out the front because, well, I guess they're the big trash cans. They're the yeah. And then we're just getting the necessities, the fire alarm, thermostat, you know. And then I am deciding that this house is going to be lit solely by candles and lanterns. Um, so you want more light? Okay, add more candles, add more lights. We're gonna have a lot of lights around. I was gonna put one in there, and then I decided that was a bad idea, fire hazard. But that is pretty much it. You can tell we're running like very low on money. We have less than 1,000 simoleons at this point. But I am getting a couple of last minute touches, some lights and the rug and other things. So I will pop back into the game and give you a tour. Last thing that we're going to be getting are these little patches out the back, because you will need to learn gardening for this. I assume you need gardening for this challenge because you're going to be making ambrosia. So anyway, let's pop back into the game and I will give you a tour. Like I said, if you saw last video, you probably saw this already, but I'll do it again for those who haven't. Okay, so I literally just pressed play so that we could do so I could plant things, and this popped up. So Over the centuries, my memory has started to grow foggy. I've heard the rumblings about a special dish called ambrosia that could jeopardize my job. Complete the assistant to the Grim Reaper and a call away quest to help me understand it. Okay, cool. We can do that. And then we're going to have, and actually, I might plant these in here. But I was going to have my Sims here. Oh, we only got, well, that's bullshit. Okay. We're gonna do one of each of these. I might do a few mushrooms. I feel like mushrooms are close to the dead. You know what I mean? Okay, we'll do that. And then we have this one as well. And then I feel like tomatoes are really useful. And we can do a plantain. I don't know. We might do a plantain over there. And the chrysanthemum over there. Okay, so I'm going to have them plant everything because they are a little bit more, they like gardening, so they're going to plant all of that while I give you a little tiny tour of the house. We did kind of spin around and everything. So you walk in, it's a very simple layout. This is the entire house. But you walk in, there's a very small living room over here. There's a big box TV. This does still work. You can come and like watch TV on it. I was feeling like this was probably found in a dumpster. And so, can you watch it? Oh, I forgot stairs. Hold on. This is why you play test your builds, people. Okay. Normally I don't forget stairs. That is a rather uncommon occurrence. Anyhow, that's not what we want. We want this. Okay. So then you should be able to just like come in and watch TV. But this sort of feels like a 2004 giant box TV, you know? Like this was the cool thing to have in like 2004. Anyway, so we have that. The valerian root keeps failing to germinate. I'm not really sure why. At least she's moved on. Okay, well, it's there now. So, then we have a small dining room, a kitchen, two bathrooms. We have this bathroom with just a toilet and some sinks, and then we have this bathroom. We do also have two bedrooms. So we have this room. This one I imagined will belong to Brennan. So we'll go in here, and then this room I imagined would belong to Diamond because Diamond has makeup. You can't really tell Diamond has makeup, but they do have makeup. So I figured having the vanity in their room sort of made sense. I did also feel like both these rooms were furnished when they moved in. So we have that. And then this bathroom, as I was saying earlier, something happened in here. Someone was in here, and did not want to be in here. So, something, I don't know. Something may or may not have happened in in this house. I'm not really sure. But that's okay. So, oh, select and ask the spirits about ambrosia. Oh, good for them. Okay, Vlad, is this the fucking welcome wagon? Bloody hell. Oh, and we have... Okay. And he is terrified. Okay, well, we should probably invite our neighbors in. And then maybe you could attempt to communicate. Do you have, like, an offering you could give them? These ones are angry. That are handmade with love. Oh. I didn't realize this was a haunted house. I do kind of like the vibes. I feel like that makes sense. What do we have that is like cheap? A yarn basket. Or we have a friendship bracelet. Well, we might trade the friendship bracelet And we'll get the yarn basket just in case that doesn't work. All right. So we have a couple of options to appease our specter friends. Um, Make a friendship bracelet. Maybe we should do like this guy. Um, okay, I'm gonna have you not do that. We're not gonna offer our soul. That's not really a thing. That we are going to do. We planted all of our things, so that's really cool. This isn't really the start of the gameplay episode, so we're gonna end this part right here. Um, Check back next episode. I will be posting it on Sunday. So if you oh, okay. Uh, n- uh, you look low on funds. Yeah, I have 32 simoleons. I don't need that. Thank you though. Um, can you just invite him in? Anyway, I'll be posting this on Sundays, every Sunday for the next few weeks. So if you want to see more of the chaos, um, I would highly recommend you subscribe, so you don't miss it. And then this house will be available on the Sims 4 gallery in case you want to download it. I'm just the same everywhere you want to find me. I'm the same. Um, and we still have not invited him in. So we will end this part or this video right here. I will see all of you tomorrow. Bye.